The dollar just dropped 12%. And if you're planning to buy or sell in Columbus in the next year, what happens in the next 60 or 90 days could be the difference between getting the house you actually want or settling for one you don't. In 19 years and over 3,700 loans closed here in Central Ohio, I've never seen this specific setup line up like this. And most people won't even realize it's affecting them until they're already behind it. By the end of this, you'll understand exactly what a weakening dollar does to home prices, why this window is so short, and how to position yourself so you don't get caught up reacting to it. Most people are trained to watch one number, interest rates, and that makes sense. It's the only number most lenders, agents, and headlines show you, so your brain assumes that's the game. But real estate doesn't actually move on one number. It moves on money. And right now, money is shifting. Rates aren't the game. Most people believe interest rates control the housing market. That's not because they're wrong. It's because it's the only map they've been given. If all you ever see is rates, your brain anchors to rates. But while you're watching rates move 0.25%, the dollar just dropped 12%. That changes how global buyers see U.S. assets, including homes in places like Columbus. When the dollar weakens, U.S. real estate becomes cheaper to outside capital, which means demand doesn't just come from local buyers anymore. Now here's where this becomes real. That shift can swing your effective buying position by $30,000 to $80,000 depending on your price range. Not because your loan changed, because the competition did. So the real question isn't, what are rates doing? It's, who are you actually competing against now? You think you have time. Most people assume if something big is happening in the economy, they'll have time to react. 6 months, a year. And historically, that's been true. Housing usually moves slow. But when currency shifts happen this fast, the timeline compresses. What used to take 12 to 18 months can show up in 60 to 90 days. And we're already seeing early signs of that shift. Columbus home values have been holding strong around the mid-300,000 range, even with rate volatility, which tells you demand hasn't left, it's waiting. And it makes sense that your brain thinks you have time, because in most markets you did. But this is where people get caught. They wait, they watch, and then suddenly they're competing in a completely different environment that they planned for. So here's where this splits. Does this shift work for you or against you? This is where people lose. If you're selling, this kind of shift can create stronger offers than you expected. More demand, more urgency. Sometimes $20,000 to $50,000 higher depending on the property. But if you're buying, this is where it gets uncomfortable, because you're not just competing with another family anymore. You're competing with speed, with liquidity. Sometimes with buyers who can close in cash. And this is the part most people don't say out loud. It's not just losing a deal. It's finding the house your family actually wanted, getting beat in 24 hours, and then trying to convince yourself the next one is good enough. That's the real cost. And it makes sense people don't prepare for this, because 6 months ago they didn't have to. But this is where the gap shows up. Some people adjust early, others react late. So what separates those two? The positioning window. Most people think they need to predict what the market will do next. They don't. They need to decide what position they're in. Here's the simple framework. You're either ready, reactive, or exposed. Ready means your financing is fully dialed in. Your numbers are clear and you can move immediately. Reactive means you're planning to act, but you still need approvals, clarity, or time. Exposed means you're watching and hoping the market waits for you. And in a shift like this, speed becomes the advantage. I had a client recently here in Central Ohio who got fully positioned before they even found a house. When the right one came up, they moved immediately and secured it. Another buyer looking at the exact same property was still trying to get pre-approved, same house, different position. That's the difference. So if this window tightens the way it looks like it could, the question isn't what happens next. It's which position you're in when it does. If you want to know exactly where you fall, ready, reactive, or exposed, the next step is simple. Set up a quick 20-minute call. We'll map out your numbers, your timing, and what this shift actually means for you here in Columbus. No pressure, just clarity, because people who get this right don't move faster because they're lucky. They move faster because they decided earlier and they prepared. And I'm curious, which one are you right now? Ready, reactive, or exposed?